Talk again.
Yeah, because that's why. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
That's why. Who? You're why.
never ever let that happen again.
Where's the weirdest place you've ever masturbated?
Where's the weirdest place? Here in the studio right now.
You've 3 hands. We don't.
Wait a minute, those are fake hands.
He's got 3 hands. You seem like the kind of guy that could do it with keeping your hands above table. Like,
Yeah.
that's good. No, I did it beside the M8. That was weird. Yeah.
Right.
Where we go today? Intro music.
No, not anymore.
No more intro
The
music.
outro music is outdated. I'm just going to get my coat now. Why do we have to go down to the level? That's just filthy.
This is. You know, it's important that we talk about these things that no one's.
Oh, is it? Oh, on camera. We don't talk about it if there's no cameras here. We never talk about it. we just talk about art and literature and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When the cameras come on.
We talk about art.
The sewer. That's where the conversation ends up. Filth and dirt.
Yeah. But you know what's not filthy or dirty? Actually, Stevie's intro music. It is the cleanest thing. So we're going to go over to that now. Stevie, I don't think we clapped last time because did we clap at the last one? George clapping, Hughes clapping.
That song never gets old.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, it's a really good song. And Stevie, what do you get in your role? Because every week you have a role.
I am
Is
fascinated.
it? Do you get the same thing every week?
It varies between two
2 what?
different things.
Okay.
So today I got breakfast rolls, so it's just sausages and black bun.
Okay. Any sauces? Any butter? Any
Butter, no ketchup.
parsley?
I stopped getting ketchup on everything a while ago because I was watching telly and there was a comedian who hated ketchup, and he just said like, I don't like ketchup because it just makes everything only taste like ketchup. And I was like, I don't think that's true. I was like, I don't think that's true. And then I stopped having ketchup, and all my food now tastes like so much more.
That's
Absolutely.
actually why I could never eat I never eat ketchup ever. Sauces like that's my whole thing with sauces is that they take away from the experience of the food. It's everything I eat.
That's a good thing though. Sometimes.
Yeah,
It
true.
depends who's cooking. Like.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually a fact. Actually, it depends on the crack. And you is there any? What's the weirdest thing that you've ever gotten? Johnson ecstasy. Is there a series pill?
Johnson,
What's a pill?
Steve, Johnson.
It's spirulina. It's not ecstasy. We can't talk about ecstasy on YouTube.
I can eat
this.
it.
No one's going to see this episode now. It's actually going to shadow it.
Yeah. Who is?
No, because you talk about. We won't say the word anymore.
Okay.
Can't talk about. But it isn't actually. It's spirulina tablets. Do you want one? Yeah. One's all right for spirulina tablets. But what do you know about the sex theaters in America? Where like I don't know if there's still a thing anymore, but there used to be like people could go in and like collectively together as one community watch a pornographic movie at the same time.
I don't think it's just. I heard there's one in Cork, but
Why? Go away. And like lads can all go in together.
I don't know. Like I've never
mad.
frequented it myself. Like, but
Yeah.
We're going to do the next.
I've heard
episode.
rumours that it
We're going to do
exists.
the next episode from there.
No way. Yeah. Oh Jesus.
But I told you that thing that some guy did.
don't have it.
Some guy did in Amsterdam before just to fuck with people, and it's like, it's disgusting. But I also think
we
it's.
have to go.
I also think it's funny. He went into one of those theaters in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And like he sat down and he got out like a spoon and he had like a tub of yogurt and he started flicking yogurt at the back
That's horrible.
the back of people's heads just to see the reaction.
That's terrible.
So the folks, just explain for people at home, it would be to trick people that they would.
Oh man.
But that's what I was actually going to talk about. In America, like I heard a story of a guy. He said it was that common to actually feel a little fucking splutter if they were sitting behind you.
Ugh.
Isn't that crazy that that's a real thing in America?
What is-
Like, cause you've been to the cinema. There's one in town.
Yes.
So you're sitting beside each other, and if there's a messy kid or a messy adult with popcorn, they might spread popcorn everywhere. So if you're in a
Yeah.
sexual theater, and people are doing the sexual thing,
what
they
I
might
wanted to
spill
talk about?
popcorn.
You know what I wanted to talk about? You know what? I genuinely wanted to talk about today. When you're in an awkward conversation with someone and
Okay.
you just want to get away from it.
Yeah.
It dovetails nicely into it. This is a thing for me sometimes.
Yeah.
You're in a pub and you're kind of like, you don't know what to do. Like somebody starts talking about their back kitchen or some shit like that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you kind of start walking back and they get more intense and you're
back kitchen.
you're backpedaling inside in the pub with your pint. I was going, geez, I hope you don't mind. Hey, we've been talking for 2 hours about my back kitchen.
Yeah,
Get out of these situations, Stevie. I think you'll be skillful at this. I'm in one of them at the moment, Stevie. Get out of it.
I know. I'm usually just kind of blunt and say I have to go.
Where do you have to go?
Yeah, exactly.
People don't ask.
What?
People don't ask.
I'd be afraid.
If you're
they'd
just
fuck
like
it up.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'd be afraid to ask too, because I've been asked. I think I'd be asked, like, where are you?
I don't know. You just kind of
Away. I would say.
maybe it's just an easier thing to do if you're like neurodivergent, like because it's just like you're.
Are you neurodivergent? What's
Well,
that?
yeah, it's just like if you have autism or ADHD
Okay,
or
right.
anything. Yeah, but like I think it's just an easier thing because you're kind of.
I'd say
That's the reason.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, oh yeah, I need to go.
I think I actually really think you're right. Like, it's nearly like the overthinking stops like me and you from saying I have to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of neurodivergent in the other way where I'm panicking. I'm actually panicking.
But
But
it's
I
like-
don't know what to say.
It's like if I was here and I just turned around and was like, all right, I'm going to bet on. You wouldn't go. Where are you going? That never happened.
That's
from
true,
now on,
actually.
we're going to ask Stevie. 'Cause
But
And
you know,
I
but you
say
know
away
what
from
though?
you.
Yeah, but
I just say away from you. Like,
Stevie, you would never say that. You'd be way too polite.
But you know what though? Like, the people that Hugh's talking about are the type of people who will say, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, there was.
They will ask,
'Cause
and
we're-
they will
we're-
ask.
we're-
I know what he's talking about,
We've
and they will say, "No, but where are you going?"
We're midway
Yeah.
through designing this
yeah, but
Yeah.
you just say, oh yeah, I have to head off. I have to talk to someone else about their back kitchen for 2 hours.
yeah.
Who are they? Because maybe we could all join up together.
Form like a union, like to
Actually,
prevent
somebody
this
said
shit.
that to me before.
Yeah.
Could we have these groups where we talk about people's houses? Set up a group like.
Yeah.
She was going to charge to get in. I was going, no.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was kind of a.
Would it be like a counseling group for? Would you
I
be
don't know,
those?
people who want to design houses or something.
Oh yeah, jeez.
I was going, no way, man.
Yeah, I those conversations are really like awkward because the other time, like, I would feel bad. Like, half time I just overthink. Like, I feel bad for just going. Like, I have to go. Like, and then what happens then is I overthink and let it build up. I do something rude then because I let it build up, and I would
Like, what would you do?
just pull down my trousers and just like. No, I wouldn't actually put. I wouldn't. It depends on that. Only that was an extreme situation. But at most cases,
Where
I
was
would
that?
put-
Like a mass or somewhere, was it?
it was down kind of a bit of a mass. Like it was a ceremony, but it wasn't like a mass.
What kind of ceremony?
It was a
Why are you saying it like that?
what?
Ceremony.
Because it's not because it's a ceremony or whatever you
It
call
just
it.
doesn't sound like a word now, but you like the way it was just slightly off. It was like
Yeah.
ceremony.
No, a
Instead of
ceremony.
ceremony.
That's kind of like something that you do to get, but something that you shouldn't be doing is a ceremony. Like
Yeah.
So it was at a ceremony.
And where was the ceremony?
Oh God, it was 4 or 5 blocks from here. Yeah.
Detail.
but yeah, no, but I do think though, like, I do overthink though those situations where I actually end up doing something rude. Like, I don't know what did I say? I trying to think of an example of what I'd actually say, which is I would just like I would let them talk for ages and eventually I just blurt out, I don't want to be here anymore, and I go,
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
I always like find it awkward, like because like I'd be like, I kind of have to let the person talk a bit,
yeah,
and then be like, all right, I have to be on.
Like we were
But,
letting
like,
Kieran
yeah.
talk a bit.
Yeah. But like, there is times where it's just like, if I'm walking somewhere and some random person comes up talking to me and then they're walking the same direction as me, I don't know what to do in that
Oh,
situation
was it some-
because it's just like
Say that again. So they're
like for example, like I remember I was walking through Cork one
Yeah.
day and this guy came up talking to me like and like I just kind of started talking away and I didn't want to be talking to him, like, and he just kept he was walking the same direction to me, and it took like one of the lads I'm with to be just like kind of, because your man was like asking me for money and kind of hassling me and stuff, and I just wasn't able to like tell him to go away. Like I was just like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's only because like guys just kind of was just like, just fuck off, like, and your man was like, okay, grand, and left, like, and there was no hassle. But like if it was
Yeah.
just me on my own, I would have walked the whole length of that street
Yeah.
talking to this person because I wouldn't know how to get away from them. Like.
Would you have took? What if they got to your front door? Would you took them in, or would there be a limit where you would turn them and say?
I don't know. To be honest, actually, if it went on long enough, I probably would have just been like gone. Oh, I have to go this way and gone down a side street. But then if they followed me, I'd be like, oh god.
Okay, let's try to figure. It might happen. What would you do though then if they do follow you down the side street? Let's go through it. Is there a point where you'd ever say stuff? Like I'm just wondering, would they ever end up in your house?
No, I'd probably
At
if
the
I
door.
got worried enough, I would
Okay.
actually just enter into a business.
Like you'd start up a business.
No, I think like I'd walk into a shop. I'd walk into a shop or bar. I'm not saying that.
I'd enter into a
I
partnership.
pull off my hoodie. I'm wearing a suit, and I'm like, let's talk business. Like I know. Like,
It's like if I ever feel threatened or feel like someone's stalking me, I'm going to start up a business.
That's the kind of thing when you're trying to work out if the guards are following you or not. In a
Yeah.
car, you're driving along, the guards are right behind you, so you just turn.
Okay,
just
yeah.
to see are they watching you, and if they turn with you, you're going, fuck.
Then
And
there's like double the chance.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
I would go for the enter the business thing because the guards don't want the hassle of talking to you in front of the business owner. Like it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's a good way of shaking them off.
Yeah.
Into the business.
Has that ever happened for?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh
smart, like.
yeah, it did happen. But I will be talking about long time ago.
Yeah,
when I was about
like-
17 or
Yeah.
16.
Statute of limitations in the back.
Yeah,
Yeah. All as well.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have a car full of lads, and you're coming to a junction, and the guards are coming out, and you go, "Lads, don't look. It's the guards." And a full all the heads turn around. It's the guards.
I know everyone.
Yeah, like-
and everyone does try to do.
And it's quite possible you don't have a license.
Yeah.
It's quite
there's
possible
always that
because-
thing of like when people are doing dodgy things, like and then like
Yeah.
a guard drives past and everyone stares at them and like makes it obvious they're hiding something, and then the guards pull in. They're like, "Oh fuck, where'd you come from?" He's like, "Well, like you all just fucking
Looked at him.
give them
think 'cause,
daggers, like."
everyone goes like, oh, no one else. Like they go, nobody look, but then they go, I'll be the one that looks. So everyone kind of does that. Like just you want to like.
And it's hard to know as well because I remember there was one day like one of the lads I know or something like walking down the road and like genuinely didn't even notice the guard car and happened to like look to the side when the guard car was going past, and the guards pulled in like, "Why'd you look away from us?" And he was like, "What?" Like I just
No way. What?
I looked at the river like when I was walking past, and nothing happened.
So
Like,
what? And the guards.
they
why
were
did
just
you
kind of
look
questioning.
away?
I think they searched
Yeah.
him, and there was nothing like, and then they just kind of carried on. But I just thought it was really strange. That was just like he just happened to look away, and they like like you never know. Like in that situation, it would look like that guy's trying to hide something.
That's
like,
mad. Yeah.
It's weird that like if you overthink it, you end up looking obvious. But if
Yeah.
you don't think about it at all, you
yeah.
end up looking obvious. Like
And was he trying to hide something?
no, genuinely just didn't notice the car and happened to like look at the river. Like
That's mad. I always.
Well, he should keep his eyes on the road. I would have pulled him in for that alone.
Yeah.
keeping his eyes on the road while walking on a footpath.
Looking at the river.
I do think though. I was saying that to
Likely
you.
story.
Well, looking at the river, at the old fishies. I was saying to Stevie earlier, like that, like about I have this thing. Where do you get it? Oh yeah, like you get it at like James or pubs or something like that, or where like people are like looking at each other and they're just having a look, like, cause it's
Yeah.
like where everything's quiet. Maybe it's in
Yeah.
like a library or a gym or something.
Staring, yeah.
Where they're not talking, but they want to have a look because they recognize you, or they're just you recognize them from you, and everyone's looking at each other, but no one's saying it, and then it's just this constant like communication without any communicating. And I always find that stuff so awkward because I used to think, why are people staring at me? But then I remember realizing you have to be staring at them the same amount they're staring at you. So when you go, that person, if you ever have an experience where you go, that person keeps staring at me, you're staring at them as much.
Do you like staring at people on trains when they're sitting right across from you?
No,
What, just like no phone, no book, no nothing, just that's lovely. Strangers,
Yeah.
like that's a good
but
idea.
like
I'd
if someone was to stare at you, is it creepier if it's like pure dead face, or is it creepier if it's just like
Depends on what you're doing. Where
like
are your
eyes
hands?
wide open?
No,
mouth
what you should
open?
do is lick your lips every so often.
Oh yeah. Where are your hands though? Are hands under the table or are they like here?
on the table.
Because there's probably like a metric for creepiness. Okay, on the table, that helps.
Can
Are you-
Can you touch them if you're on the train? Like, is that?
No.
We're kind of in a communal space.
Yeah. Can you?
That's not how it works.
What?
Like, you can't just say I'm in a community space. I can touch you. Like
Okay. Well, you're allowed to photograph them. So, like, you're in a public space, so he's sitting across from me, so you are technically
Taking a
allowed-
photo with the seat.
Yeah,
you're
you're-
just in the way.
Yeah. You are sitting in a public space, so this is what I saw today.
Yeah.
And his wife. You can do that. There's no
but I think-
law against it.
But I think if the only justification you have for doing something is, well, technically it's okay.
It's legal.
You know, then you're kind of,
Yeah.
it's kind of, you're probably doing something weird. If the only reason you're doing it is, well, there's technically nothing wrong with it.
Maybe you
Then
like.
you're probably doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Maybe you like their faces. Yeah, maybe you like their faces. I like your face and your face.
No.
Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, I'm going to video you. I'm going to video the two of you for the journey. You don't mind?
But are you not legally allowed to like ask for that to be taken down or not
I think
put
in
anywhere
public
because of
places,
data
yeah,
data
Public-
protection?
Yeah, public.
I'm not
places,
sure,
It's
actually.
fair game.
Yeah, public.
But like, is it not the same way? You know, when someone is doing like a skit show and they record in a public place, but then people can have their faces censored.
Yeah,
Public
So I think
media.
there is actually,
yeah.
premise there for you to.
I think
kinda-
it's real grey. Yeah, I think there is like on all sides, but I think it's a really hard thing to fight if you're in a public space. Like,
Yeah.
Now,
I think-
are you allowed to touch them?
No. Well, unless they say you can touch them. Like if there's consent there, then yeah.
yeah, you'll have to ask them,
Oh,
not
yeah.
Stevie.
Yeah,
You're asking
okay. Yeah,
you'll have to-
if they're consenting adult and they're like you can touch me, then
if there's
yeah.
an elderly man and you want to like touch his forehead or whatever, like don't ask Stevie. I would recommend ask him. Like, that
Yeah.
would be my advice.
No.
Yeah, no, like
I'm not
it's
professional.
each individual person would have to
Person's
give
own.
consent.
That's
Yeah.
consent, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, trains are weird. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen on a train?
Weirdest thing.
Or the or something not even weird.
Did I tell you about the weirdest thing I saw on a Lewis? I think I did.
Well,
I was on the Lewis one day and I was coming like from on the red line into town. So like I was out by kind of Bluebell, kind of Drimnagh kind of area. And we got to either Rialto or Fatima. I'm probably pronouncing Rialto wrong. I can't remember what it is.
Rialto, yeah.
Yeah.
Rialto.
But yeah, it was at either of those places. And I remember the doors open and I looked to the left of me and I just saw like there was a kid on like a fucking dirt bike.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you're not even allowed a bicycle on the Lewis. How the fuck? And like when the doors
not,
opened,
yeah.
he just started the dirt bike and drove off the Lewis.
yeah, they're mad. Rialto.
And like the parents just walked on behind him, and I was like, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But I thought it was so funny. Like it was
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
literally doors open, all you hear is like, boom, and he drives off. Like
Yeah, there's a mad sense of chaos growing in Dublin with all that shit. Like, see those bikes the whole time. I remember one thing I thought was genius, poetic. He's a lad. He's definitely. I don't know. I'd say he was like, fond of the needles and stuff like that. He was like he was definitely but I loved him though, 'cause people like that, who they have real life experiences and like no matter like you could tell like he's a bit withered away and stuff, probably from like heroin and shit like that. Like, and that's just an assumption, but it really seemed like that. But I love that because people like that are very aware of the world. They have real experiences in the world, even if it's gritty and it's low, and they have such an awareness that he was the only guy to say it on the Lewis. It was packed. It was 7 a.m. when it's quiet. Everyone's going to work. No one's talking and stuff like that. And I was like watching him just stare at everyone like that, like staring at him. He goes, "All we are is a packet of sardines," as everyone was squished in. And I remember like this one looking at him, going like, like disgusted by like, oh, like who's this guy? What's he? And I was just like told her, I was like, he's right though, like, because I was like blown away by what he said, like I love the way he like was just observing the place, and his takeaway was, all we are is sardines, like we're stuck in this box heading
I bet it was
where?
a smelly sardine. I bet there was one big smelly
Oh,
sardine.
there was. I'd say that's probably what he meant. Like he was like everyone's. There's a couple of
There was a
smelly
right.
sardines on the Lewis.
So I used to go in from my cousin's house every
Yeah.
morning. Oh man, the smell on some of them were wow.
Yeah,
The BO on that dart.
yeah, and it's that
It was just so bad.
I kind of buzz it. I like that.
Well, you can work out your way by smell. Where you can go, like, because it's the same.
really?
It's the same journey every morning. So you get to spot it right there. That's the smelly one.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there, that's not too bad. You go up there, the air is fresher. It's sweet in carriage number 2.
What I always feel like I'd sit beside people who like would look real fancy looking, and they'd smell like they're nearly
they
the
would.
ones- I find
Yeah.
it hard to tell by looking.
No, I guarantee. Yeah, you're
it's
right.
never like the homeless people.
No,
like that.
no,
It's
no,
always
no.
like,
The worst.
this guy fucking-
My worst thing is this like kind of this really strong perfume really kills.
Yeah, that's
kills-
horrible.
kills
That
me.
I swear to God, I think that smells worse than shit. Like I actually hate that. Like that.
It makes me travel sick, kind of.
Yeah.
Motion sickness with men. with a hangover as well is really bad.
No, I get that. as well.
Alcohol mixed with perfume is terrible.
Like the smell or the taste.
Yeah, a
and
bit of both. Like if you're
Yeah.
out all night drinking and
And then
you
you-
Oh yeah, when like perfume or like aftershave is strong enough that you can taste it, it's just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
With guys, like there's less guy stuff smells way worse to me than the girl shit. Like if I smell but then like there's the girls version, like Lynx to me just does that to me whenever I smell Lynx. But the girls version of like that Dove, so all those things like
or sure that's the
yeah, sure, that's one, not Dove. Yeah, I think sure
Oh, yeah.
that does that same thing. Lynx, I hate it. It's like, yeah,
Did you ever have a Lynx bat? No.
what's that? Just use Lynx
Lynx
like
instead of washing yourself.
a couple of times. Yeah,
Did you? Wow.
well, I do that now with like patchouli oil. I just don't shower. I just
You're serious.
yeah. It's starting to catch up on me now. The other day, last week we talked about spiders, and you've seen the spider come out of my hair. We were sitting here, and Stevie did, and a spider come down my hair, and I showed
Yeah.
you. A spider came down, and I was like, "Look, Stevie, I told you, there's actually spiders in my hair."
You don't actually have hair, it's just very unusual cobwebs.
Yeah, yeah, kind of feels like that, to be honest. And do you know, I got really sad though. I was in the library, and there was that same spider was in my hair like for a couple of days or whatever. And whatever way, when I was like washing my hands in the library, I wash my hands, and I was washing my hands after touching. I was washing my hands, yeah, and then the spider that was in my hair, like whatever way he sort of fell and landed down the sink, and he like got squashed in the water. I was actually really sad because I felt like it's like carrying your cat around with
What
you
about
in
his
your
family
hair
up and the rest of the family up in the hair?
yeah, I don't know, like
His children?
it was sad. I know, yeah, so it was sad, like it was awful. And I think we should finish up on that lovely note. You know, it's important to leave things on a high note.
That's true.
So we're leaving it on that note
Okay.
because
Bye.
bye.
See ya.